Hey, come on in the studio. Come on in. We are live here for Set It Up Sunday, our weekly training on setting up your life for success. So 1 week, 1 month, 1 year at a time, 1 day at a time. We do it on Sunday so that you can look at your entire week. So come on in, say hey. If you're in the live broadcast, just say hello. Let me know that you're here. I'm going to be monitoring via the Leadership Unlocked private Facebook group. So I'm hoping that we get some live participants. I'm turning down my phone so I can get all of the comments. I can see all the comments. So come on in, say hey. If you're here live, just let me know that you're here for Set It Up Sunday, that you're here live. If you are watching this after the fact, we're going to have some good insights for you. So you can also make comments if you have anything that you want to share, or if you have any question about any of the things that I'm going to share today. So yeah, whenever you get to it, just, ask away, ask any questions that you have. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Again, this is Renita Alexander, the Leadership Locksmith, and this is our weekly training on setting up your week, your month, your year, your life for success, however you define success and whatever way you define success. And so everybody has a different definition for that. Last week, I talked about purpose, and I was motivated to do so by a conversation that I had with one of my sorority sisters, one of my line sisters, actually, who had fulfilled a dream that she had to do some interior designing, and so she got her her third degree so that she can do that with some authority and some training. And so I was just really proud of her and so excited that she had done that. And so it was the motivator for me to talk about purpose, to talk about all the reasons or the ways that we can find out what our purpose is if we're not 100% sure what it is. And we talked about, the what and the why. What I really want to concentrate on this week is the who. So the what is the thing that you're passionate about, the thing that you're dreaming about. The why is the issue, the problem in the world that you're passionate about, and how you can use that passion to solve a problem. And the who is all the things that make you unique. So the part of you that allows, the parts of you, I should say, that allow you to accomplish your purpose. And so those include your gifts, your talents, your strengths, your skills, your personality. And as I said last week, you are who you are, so you can serve your what and your why, your purpose. So I want to spend a little bit more time talking about that today. Just talking about how you figure out what that is. And so I do a lot of training on leadership, specifically leading yourself. And as I always say, that self-awareness is such a strategic advantage for the leader who is self-aware. That is a strategic advantage, and that's the who. So that's all of the things, as I said, that make you who you are. And so the self-awareness, just understanding why you make the decisions that you make or the ones that you don't make, believing in your capacity to choose from an authentic place, and then making the connection between your actions and the consequences of your actions. All of those things help you lead yourself better and can help you lead yourself to your purpose. And so one of the things that I use that is actually in the group, there is a high five Strengths Finder. It's a free assessment that you can take to find out what your natural talents are, and discerning those talents in yourself. Again, it's going to help you be more self-aware. And also, if you understand those about the people that are around you, you're going to be able to figure out maybe the folks that can help you pursue the things that you are purposed to pursue. So you want to know what those strengths are. Again, we have an assessment that's free. It's right in the Leadership Unlocked private Facebook group. If you look under guides, it's included in that section. So that's a way to find your innate leadership strengths. Another thing that you can do to focus on who you are, to understand who you are, is understanding your values, right? So what are the things that are important to you? And if you've never spent any time thinking about your values, I'm going to encourage you to do that, to think about the things that you value. There's all kinds of ways you can do that. But it's important because the values that you have are an integral part of your foundation. They're going to be reflected in how you interact with other people. They're going to be reflected in your experiences. They're going to be reflected in how you show up in whatever it is that you're doing. And so sometimes what I have found is that often the things that we value in others reflect our own values. And so think about those leaders that you admire, and what are some of the things that you admire about them. And that could be a way to find out your values. There's also all kinds of assessments online that you can, just all kinds of lists that you can find online to discover those things that are valuable to you. And I would make a list of maybe 5 to 10 things that are important to you that you value. So, be it all the way from abundance to wonder, or to wisdom, or to vision. Energy is a value of mine, and so integrity is another value of mine. And so I'm looking to demonstrate those values in the way I interact, the way I show up. And so that's another way that you can sort of understand who you are. I think we talked a little bit about emotional intelligence. So the concept of emotional intelligence, or EI, or EQ, was introduced in the mid 1990s and explained why people in the workplace with maybe a average IQ often performed those with a higher IQ. And what the folks that do that research found, social scientists found, is that our emotional intelligence was a much better predictor of success, particularly for leaders, which makes sense because somebody with a higher emotional intelligence is going to be more in tune with how people are behaving, or why they're behaving the way they are. And so, but it's not just outwardly focused. It's about who we are and what we know and what we understand about how we show up emotionally, because our emotions are there to tell us something about how we're processing our experiences. They're not wrong, or they're not wrong. You're not wrong to have the emotions. In fact, our brains are wired to give our emotions an advantage over our logic. And that's because that part of the brain, that limbic system, is the oldest part of our brain, and it's where the neural signals go first. So they pass through that emotional center, the limbic system, before they reach the logic center, which is that prefrontal cortex. And so we are going to hit, or the things that we experience are going to hit the emotional center first before they get to the logic center. And so we want to take the time to maybe take a breath, take a beat, and determine how we want to respond, so we're not always responding emotionally. And then when we develop that connection between the emotional part of our brain, or the limbic system, and our logic center, when we make those connections, then we communicate more effectively and we increase our emotional intelligence. And so those are just 3 things that can help you understand what your purpose is, understand what your who is, or how to apply who you are to the fulfillment of your purpose. And so I talked about understanding your strengths, those things that are innate to who you are, those innate talents that you couldn't not do even if you tried. That include the way you react to the world, the way you see your world, the areas where you excel. And there's, several ways to figure those out. The things that sometimes people tell you that you're really good at, the things that just are easy for you. Sometimes we don't think of our strengths as strengths because they come so naturally to us. So your strengths, we talked about values, those things that are important to you that are going to impact how you operate, how you show up in the world, and how you respond to those that you are that you may follow, that maybe your leaders, your managers, your supervisors. And then we talked about emotional intelligence, so understanding who we are from an emotional intelligence perspective is just going to give us that advantage in applying who we are to our purpose. All right, so I'm going to see if there are any comments. Hey, we got Michael is here. Hey, Colonel Black, so happy to hear you. Hey, Dagny, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Just wanted to find out if you had any questions or comments about what we're talking about tonight. Again, this is part 2 of our conversation on purpose, which is so important to helping us be intentional about what it is we're doing. We can define success. And, again, success, you define it whatever way you want to define it. However, given that we all have a reason for being here, a purpose for being on this earth, if we can find that and figure that out and figure out ways to apply who we are to fulfilling our purpose, then I think we're just going to feel that much more successful. All right. So we talked about the who and who we are that is going to help us fulfill our purpose. And I'm trying to see if there's any questions or comments about figuring those things out, getting to know ourselves just a little bit better, reflecting on who we are. Oh, I did want to bring up, I actually gave some homework last time. I don't know if anybody did. If you did your homework, if you were with us last week and you actually thought about the rest of 2021 and identified some things that you are going to accomplish, please share that with us. If you did it, if you want to share the strategic plans that you've made for yourself for the remainder of 2021, please feel free to do that. I'm going to see if we have any questions or comments. So there's always that delay. I'm going to give it a breath, a beat, take do some breathing, so I don't end it too soon. This has happened to me a couple of times where I get ready to end the broadcast and then I see some questions. So. Any questions or comments? Anybody want to share their plan, if they have one, for the remainder of 2021, the things that they're going to accomplish? Dagny, you and I need to talk about one of the things we're going to accomplish with Bishop Dudley. All right. Well, I am not seeing any questions or comments. Oh, wait. Let's see. I just saw. Okay. I do see a comment from Michael. Hey, work on your book. All right. Yes. We talked about that a while back. So I'm excited to see that it's still a goal that you are working toward accomplishing. We all have a book in us, something that we can share with the world. Somebody's waiting on your book, Mike, on mentorship. They need to know how to be the best mentor they can be. So they're waiting on that book. Any other questions or comments? All right. Well, if you're here live, thanks for joining me. If you see this at some later point, don't hesitate again to ask a question, to make a comment. And thanks again for those that have joined us live, for joining us live. And I'll be right here again next Sunday at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, sharing some tips for how to lead, how to set up your time for success. All right. Have a great rest of your Sunday. I'm going to end the broadcast right now.